What's up, everybody? In this video, we're going to discuss reviews, check-ins, directions, and calls. And this is your guide to helping you obtain reviews and generating engagement with your Google My Business listing and other profiles. So for reviews and check-ins, you want to be proactive in generating reviews. You want to get ahead of negative reviews. You'll find that business owners, they'll get one negative review, they'll get held up on it and spend hours trying to figure out who it was, why it's there, how to respond. We want them to essentially have a ton of positive reviews, and then when they look back, they go, oh, I got a negative review, and it's not going to be that big of a dent, one, on their ego, and two, on the time that they're going to spend when they could be doing other positive things. The other good thing about reviews is that it helps increase rank for a couple different reasons. One is that people engaging with the profile and leaving reviews helps with positive signals, but also when people see that you have reviews, that they're going to engage, or they're going to be more likely to engage with that profile. So that's one of the key pieces where if you're up against others who don't have reviews or don't have a lot of reviews and you've got a decent amount, more times than not, from what I've seen, is that people will click on that and that will help them increase as well too. One thing to note is that the receptionist can play a big role in getting reviews. So she's at the front desk, someone had a good experience. Hey, can you also leave us a review on here? Hey, can you check in on Yelp or Facebook? Can you do whatever it is that we need them to do to try and generate reviews? And we want to choose what we're putting our reviews on, which in the beginning we want to get Google My Business reviews first, and if we can, Yelp. Those are two of the primary ones. One, because Google My Business will show up in the map pack first, and then second, they're going to see, usually a lot of times for local business, there'll be Yelp showing up in the ranks for top 10 auto shops in that area, or whatever it may be. Then generating reviews and getting citation primarily requires the business to take action. For the most part, this isn't something that we can necessarily do, but we can try and push them to do it. They can use text campaigns where there's a follow-up. They can ask at the desk. They can send follow-up emails. And a trick I use for emails, is a good little note, is that you have a star system. And on that, you send the email, hey, thank you for coming to our business. We hope you had a great experience. A part of what we do is try and help others, or one thing that we try and do is take your experience with us and help make others better. Please rate based on the following. Then you have 1 to 5 stars. If they click 4 or 5 stars, you drive them to a page where they can leave a review, whether it's Google My Business, Facebook. Don't do it to Yelp, okay? Yelp will flag you, and they will Yelp will filter the review if they think that you're gaming it. It has to be as natural as possible. We'll talk about that in a bit. Now, if it's 3 stars or less, you drive them to a web form and say, hey, sorry you didn't have the greatest experience. Please let us know what we can do better next time. Then make sure that when you get that review, 1, you most likely want to follow up with them and say, hey, I'm really sorry that you had a poor experience. We're trying to see what we can do better, and we're reaching out to you. 2 is that you use that feedback, because there may be times where it's internal, where the person at the front desk isn't giving them the best experience, or one of the guys who's doing the servicing on their car, or the dental hygienist said something that upset them, or it could be a number of things. You'd be surprised what you'll find, and it's real. And then you could run discounts for check-ins. Hey, at the front desk, make sure to check in for 5% off oil change, right? Or 5% off your cleaning, or whatever it may be. And then also, one thing is that when you start working with them, leave a review. Sometimes, or a lot of times, I'm the first review that a client will get. And they see that, and they go, oh, thank you so much for the review. So, and leave reviews for your clients. Now, when you leave reviews, you want to be aware that there's a couple ways to do this. 1, we can ask our friends and family to do it. We can have our coworkers do it. We want to do it from different areas. So, ideally, we'd be in different locations. Don't everyone from the office leave a review. That will, on Yelp, will definitely trigger something. When you and your team, or if you go to meet with the client, leave a review. Do a check-in there. You can ask friends, tell the business owner to ask their friends, employees to leave reviews if they're on those types of terms with their employees. Also, one thing you could do is you could buy reviews, but you got to be careful. I've tested this in which you'll buy reviews, and it's kind of like getting the old school Facebook likes where you get a bunch of likes by a bunch of profiles on Google My Business who aren't really engaging, and the sole purpose of those profiles is just to leave reviews. Now, there are services out there with some people who do a really good job at it, and if you can find one, I'd reach out to them, as it's really hard to find, and for the most part, I don't. As with the Chomp account, I purchased 5 reviews a while ago, I think, and what happened is that they fell off except for one. And when you look at that one, you can tell. But Google My Business is not as proactive as filtering as Yelp. Directions and calls. So you want to make sure that you're engaging with the profile. So if you go see the client, make sure to get directions from Chomp. If you're calling the client, call them from here. Don't dial them directly. Go search the business and call. So what that's going to show is that it's being engaged with. Even if it's just you, one is better than none. It's also natural and used when you visit your client. So here's an example, right? So we search Chomp Orthodontics. So remember this, right? Because when you're on mobile and you're searching your business, other people are going to be advertising against you. So that's a good upsell, right? And this is good to show them. Do screen share mobile and say, look, they put in your business and they got to scroll down till they finally get to your business. Now, on here, you're going to select, you could save it, go to their website, call. So if I was going out to visit this client, I click directions, and then I would use this to get there. So 26 minutes away, my location. But you get the idea for this. And then if we wanted on Yelp, let's say that we get to the location, you're going to want to check in and then also leave a review while you're there. But you want to do this at the location. And that's how to use this. And now another feature that's currently going on is something that's just recently popped up, is the questions and answers. So you can now ask a question, it'll post publicly, and you can respond. So also keep this in mind, as you want to make sure that they're responding to these as quickly as possible with information. Now, Yelp Reviews, this is something in which a lot of people are not familiar with. And you can't send out your whole customer list emails to go and create a Yelp review. You want to try and do it as naturally and individually as possible to where those are coming in. If you get a couple a week, that's good. It's also a pain point or sales driver for a business, because some get a couple bad reviews and then that's what people see. So you want to be ahead of this. Also, another thing to note is that Yelp's listings rank on top of a lot of organic searches. So you want to make sure that profile is done as well as possible. Now, you also want reviews because they show credibility. And for Yelp, reviews must be organic. Never send an email with a link to Yelp. Spread reviews out to prevent a profile flag. Ensure users have a profile that's has engaged on Yelp. So don't let it be their first review. A lot of times that just gets filtered. You can check them out, see if they've got a picture and a bio. You know, it can take a little bit more time with Yelp, but if you're speaking to the client, say, hey, you got a Yelp account? Or do you use your Yelp account? And they say, yes, I check out a lot of stuff. So that means they're engaged on it. And then I would ask them. But if they say, yeah, but I never use it, go straight to Google My Business, because it can be a lot of work to say, hey, can you leave me a review on Google My Business, Facebook, Yelp, Hopfrog, Avo, and all these other places. Keep it simple. Use the email. That seems to work very well for mass reviews. And then remember that a lot of times bad reviews stick better than positive reviews on Yelp, because you'll find accounts where there'll be 5, 6 negative reviews, 1 positive review. You go to the filter, and then on the filter, you're going to see, wow, why are all these positive reviews filtered? And most people don't or are even aware of that. And things you can do on Yelp, like when you go, you check in, add a photo while you're at the business. That could be help. And remember, you're helping them out. Say, hey, I'm uploading photos directly to Yelp right now. And you can do that for Google My Business as well, too. You could bookmark it to help out. All this can help with their rank listing, because you also want to list them, or you also want to try and get them ranked on Yelp. So if you get them ranked on Yelp when people are searching Yelp, right, that means that's going to help them. So we've got message the business, call, get directions. On here, I don't really, if you're at the point to where you're in the top of the Google My Business listing and you're looking to try and get them at the top of the Yelp organic rankings portion, I would then start having people use this. But to start, I would particularly focus on Google My Business, except for the check-in, the add photo, and make sure they leave a review. So hopefully that helps. You understand a little bit more about getting reviews, how to get reviews, about Yelp, making sure that you don't get your reviews flagged on Yelp, because you can put a lot of effort into generating those to have it not work out. And for the most part, all the other platforms are pretty easy, in which they may send an email to verify that you have that you're a real person to get accounts. Hopefully this was very helpful, and I'm looking forward to the next video.